Well, I seem to have been making a bit of a habit, sort of fighting the system at the moment. I have no idea whether or not it's due to the fact that I've given up smoking tobacco. I've been addicted to tobacco for very many years, and I don't know. Maybe I'm getting a little bit stressed with things not smoking any tobacco. Um, Nevertheless, I had an interesting concept, and I was looking at a website um, which is www.fmotl.com, which is a fantastic website. It's not incredibly pleasing to the eye, um, but it is incredibly informing about loans. Now, I have a hypothetical scenario that there may or may not be a loan outstanding that certain parties are. Well, you'll see who it is anyway on the phone, but it's basically a collection agency called Metropolitan. Now I'm going to ring them and ask them a hypothetical question. I'm not going to give any details away, but what I'm going to ask them is, are they able to provide me with a document with the two signatures? Um, yeah, basically that's essentially what I'm going to do is just ask them some paperwork. Now I've got some things. Oh, here we go. Yeah, look, I want to ask them if they've got validation of the debt, the actual accounting, the verification of their claim against me, a sworn affidavit, or even a signed invoice, a copy of the contract binding both parties. So, um, I'm going to ask a hypothetical question now. Anyway, so if I can find the number, here we go. Right, I'm just going to do it now. This is a cheeky one, so I might have to beep out the actual company.
You'll be charged for calling this number. How much depends on your Orange service plan. If you still want to call it, hold on and you'll be connected.
Gotta love Orange. They're just as bad.
Thank you for calling Metropolitan Connection Services Limited. For quality purposes and in the interests of security, your call may be recorded. Good morning, you're through to Lambert MCS. Can I take your reference number, please?
Oh, hi. I haven't got any paperwork with me at the moment. This is just a hypothetical question. My fiance's got a debt with you, but I'm just really intrigued. I'm just wondering. She's obviously, you're telling her through your correspondence that she's and obviously we're not breaking any data protection here because we're not speaking about the legal person in particular. I just want to ask you a question if that's all right with you. I'm wondering if you. Cool. I'm wondering if you guys, in a scenario, for instance, someone has an outstanding loan and you'll be collecting, whether you'll be able to provide my fiance validation of the debt, verification of your claim against her, and possibly a copy of the contract binding both parties with regard to the initial loan, if the loan itself actually took place. Is that something as a collection agency that you're all able to provide to her in paper format?
No, I don't see why that wouldn't be possible. So if not, then we would go direct to the client or ask her to go direct to the client.
Right.
And ask them to provide it to her directly if we're unable to acquire it.
Okay, so for instance, again hypothetically speaking, if we were to put into writing requests for that and say that unfortunately until you're able to provide those details, we will be withholding any funds as you, as the pursuer of the debt, haven't in fact validated it, verified it, or provided proof that the debt actually exists between two parties, we would be within our rights.
You actually need to send it in under the, what's it called? The actual act that you can request it under. Something like
that's just the data. That's just data protection. That's just.
You request all of the information held, along with the agreements. And I believe there's something like a £10 fee with that.
Yeah, I think you're right there.
But yeah, by all means, if you send that in along with the fee for the admin costs and everything, obviously everything would be done as a request within as quick a time frame as possible.
Okay, so we'd be within our rights though to postpone any payments until that information was provided, and we'd be lawful to demand that from you as the pursuer of the debt.
You can request that. Obviously, we wouldn't advise that you withheld payments. If you were unhappy with the amount, then by all means we would agree to a token payment while the information is looked into.
But until we've established legally that the claim that you're making is correct, as long as we're asking questions, then you're unable to enforce anything. I believe that's sort of the legal part. No, I don't want to get you down into the legal whatnots, but I'm just trying to ascertain what we can do to slow the process
I understand
down.
where you're coming from. I believe that is correct, yes.
Fantastic. Well, look, I really.
If you are disputing it, then by all means we would, out of courtesy more than anything, we would hold everything
until it's been rectified. It's not a matter of the loan being questioned, it's a matter of whether the loan itself is lawful, and obviously if HSBC can't provide a copy of the contract binding the parties, then obviously the loan doesn't exist, therefore we don't have to pay it. So that's basically the route that I'm... Because if the loan isn't lawful...
That should be correct,
yeah. Okay. Well, listen, you've been incredibly helpful, and I really appreciate you taking the time speaking to me. You've been really nice. Thank you.
That's not a problem at all.
All right. Have a nice day. See you later. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? So basically, they've just said that they will put everything on hold if you've got a debt until they're able to provide this paperwork, if this paperwork exists. Now, the legally binding contract between two parties can't exist because a corporation itself is not a legal entity, a person. The contract is usually between two people. So I'm a bit hazy on this, but essentially I think we might well be along the right lines. Now, that was somebody from Metropolitan Collection Agency saying that that's the situation. If we question that the loan itself is lawful, then as a result of that, if we request that paperwork whilst we're asking questions, we can then remove our payments, we can stop paying, we can say, look, we are withholding payments until you're able to prove that a lawful loan was made, there was a lawful agreement. Until they can do that, they don't get any money. Now, you wonder how long it will take to get that paperwork with two signatures, because it's very rare that a corporation will have a personal signature on a loan agreement. So essentially, I'm under the impression that this loan doesn't even exist lawfully. So anyway, just a little cheeky snifter for you guys. Hope it helps in some vague context. I'm just on a mission today. I'm doing a jeweller's website at the moment, and yeah, just sort of missioning through that. I'm nearly finished. And in the midst of it, I'm just phoning up various people and asking questions. But this is what I'm trying to get across. If we don't ask questions, if we don't take the front foot, and if we don't take to make the conscious decision to ask questions and take control and stop doing what we're told and start questioning what we're told, a lot of the times, these people are really taking the biscuit, and we just pay all this money, we don't question it, we do what we're told, and at the end of the day, we're kind of getting bent over. So as soon as you lose the fear and actually think, right, I'll go to them and tell them what the law is and tell them the way it is, and ask questions, instead of phoning up with case numbers and giving details, don't give your details. Talk about hypothetical situations, get their angle, get information out of them about their procedures, because as soon as you know how their procedures work, you can completely rinse them out to the max. So that's just me, Mr. GC, on the way out, but I hope it helped. I hope that was a very positive and interesting phone call record. It probably won't appeal to a lot of people, but for some of you out there, hopefully it will open your eyes and encourage you just a little bit to push. If you're on a contract mobile phone, you can phone these people up, it doesn't cost you anything. You can have exceptional amounts of fun, basically telling them that they haven't got a leg to stand on, without giving a name, without giving anything. You get the information you need anyway. That's about all I'm going to say on the matter. So